He'd rather look outside than watch this wrestling match.
Enjoy the show. Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Classic 1333 here, coming to you live from my room. Yeah, kind of late in the morning right now, but still wanted to go ahead and do a Raw review for you guys. So, just kind of get my thoughts on the show, as usual. Review how it was, and blah blah blah. So, let's see, let's jump right into the show. And if you can't tell, it's kind of late right now, and I just finished the show, so that's why I'm gonna try to see what I remember. So, the first thing we get is they show a recap of last week of the incidents with Randy Orton and Shane McMahon. Like when Orton and MVP were wrestling each other one-on-one, and then Shane McMahon interfered in the match, attacking Orton with the kendo stick. So they showed like the recap of that. So that leads us to our first match. We get Randy Orton versus Shane McMahon. And Orton comes out, and then Shane McMahon like sneaks up from behind him again like he did last week, and starts clobbering him with some punches. And then they start fighting in the crowd, and Shane McMahon's pretty much dominating Orton. And then eventually, like, he's about to put Orton through a table, I think, on the outside. And then Priceless comes out and attacks Orton, or not Orton, attacks Shane McMahon. And then MVP comes out to try to save Shane, and then Priceless, and Orton get the upper hand on him. And then Batista comes out and, clears the ring. And then Vicky comes out, not on her wheelchair again, because miraculously, she doesn't need her wheelchair. And she's like, no, you won't get rid of my main event tonight. And so what she's going to do is she puts, still schedules, Orton versus Shane McMahon one-on-one. And then she also puts Cody Rhodes versus MVP and Batista versus Ted DiBiase. And whoever wins between Batista and DiBiase and Cody Rhodes and MVP, like whoever wins the match can be in the main event, like kind of like in a tag team match or a handicap match situation. So just based off who wins. So we'll get to that later and see what happens with that. But I'm pretty sure most of you guys watching this by now probably know what happens. But I'm still gonna talk about it. So yeah, that was the start of the show. So then we get our first match of the night. It's Matt Hardy versus Kofi Kingston. And before the match starts, Matt Hardy cuts a promo about his hand again and says something about how he's filing a lawsuit, against like the company or something, and he's still wrestling under protest. So again, it confuses me what this whole protest thing means. It's like, wrestling under protest because he absolutely has to wrestle, or is it because he's gonna be like, alright, you know what, I'm gonna do it anyways, F you, or something, So, and the other thing too is like, couldn't he choose not to wrestle, get fired, and like get compensation or something? Or, kind of get more lawyers involved in it or something? Again, lack of common sense. So, but anyway, let's get to talk about the matchup here. Kofi Kingston versus Matt Hardy. It was a pretty good matchup, I thought. Pretty much Kofi dominated most of the match. Like Matt Hardy got the upper hand a little bit later in the matchup, but Kofi beat Matt Hardy with the Trouble in Paradise, and the commentators actually called it by the name this time. So they must have watched my video from last week and picked up on it. So I'm totally happy about that. Thanks for watching my show, Michael Cole and Lawler. You guys are awesome. So after the match, Matt Hardy attacks Kofi with his cast. He hits him with a forearm and knocks him out with a cast. Bob Orton style. Bob Orton used to always attack people with his cast and stuff. So that's what happens on that one. Okay, so what's next on the show? They have Santino Marella and Kelly backstage talking, and basically, Santino says that Santina is so excited to team up with Kelly on the WWE Superstars this week or something. And then he starts making fun of Vicky Guerrero or something with some pig sounds and stuff. And then Chavo shows up and tells Kelly to leave. And then he's like, you can't be making fun of my aunt like that, blah blah blah. And then Santino's like, oh, I'm so sorry, but can you deliver a message for me? And he's like, sure, what's that? And he makes some more pig noises and stuff. So yeah, I guess there's going to be a Chavo Santino feud at some point in time. So, iced tea, even though there's no ice, so it's just tea. Still a good drink. So, I'm kind of still thinking Chavo's not going to beat Santino, though. I still think he's going to keep his losing streak going. So, what's next? Oh, the next thing we got, they show a recap of, like, Big Show versus Cena, or not Big Show versus Cena, but Big Show chokeslamming Cena through the 7,000 watts, and then how Cena is miraculously, able to show up on Raw next week to count Big Show out of his match against Batista. So then Big Show goes into Vicky's office and basically says, he wants to fight Cena tonight, wants to end his career, and then Vicky's like, oh, he can't be there, he's got internal injuries and blah, blah, blah. So then Vicky makes the match for the Big Show versus Cena at Backlash, or not Backlash, Judgment Day. Oh, it's too late. It's like 4 in the morning. So that's going to happen. Big Show versus Cena, Judgment Day. And then we get MVP backstage, and then he's like basically getting warmed up for his match, and then the Bella Twins show up, and they're so excited to talk to him because he's going to be on The View, tomorrow, which was today. Which actually was yesterday. Today's Wednesday. Yesterday was Tuesday. So he was on The View yesterday. And then they talk about how they want to go out with him after the show backstage. So, as Ron Simmons would say, as far as the Bella Twins are concerned, damn! He say it a little bit differently, but damn! So, because they're pretty smoking hot. So next we get MVP versus Cody Rhodes one-on-one. And William Regal was doing commentary at ringside. And this was a pretty good matchup. It was like back and forth for a while. Cody was working on MVP's leg during the match. And the finish sees like MVP was like gets knocked out of the ring or something, and he starts to like get back into the ring. And then Regal clips him from behind with like a forearm like into his leg or something, and then MVP can't get back in the ring in time unless he gets counted out. So Cody Rhodes wins by countout. Cody Rhodes is going to be in the main event with Orton so far against Shane McMahon. And it looks like they're going to set up a MVP versus William Regal feud on Raw, so this will be pretty cool, because it'll give Regal something to do, and, MVP something to do too. And plus, they're both like, brawlers and stuff, so be a good like fist fight and stuff. So, I'm pretty sure MVP is going to go over in the feud, but it'll still be cool to watch, though, because I'm a big Regal fan, too. So next we get Lawler in the ring, and then they showed a recap about a SmackDown Boogie Down Bronx dance or something that Layla and Eve Torres had or something. And so Lawler's like, we're going to one-up them tonight with a singing contest, and then who's in the frickin' contest? It's Julian Hall and Festus. Like, what the hell? So, I've only got one thing to say about that. And then, so basically, like, just to sum it up, like, bell rings, well, Jillian sings, she sucks, she always sucks, and then Festus, like, is doing nothing, bell rings, and he just starts singing a random frickin' song. Bell rings again, he stops, and then the crowd gives Festus the victory. I don't know, it was stupid. It was stupid. So then, after that, Miz comes out, and Festus is still, like, in his, retarded vegetative standing state or whatever, and Miz, chucks Festus out of the ring, and then talks about how last week he challenged Cena, and Cena still never accepted his challenge, and